What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Conor Benn versus Rodolfo Orozco, and this was a 10-rounder in the super welterweight division. And this fight was Saturday, September 23rd from the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida. And this fight was broadcasted on DAZN. And in this fight, Conor Benn successfully made his comeback to the ring after over a year of inactivity, a long inactivity, well over a year of being active, and then coming back after testing positive for that banned substance, which causes inactivity. He got the unanimous decision victory over Rodolfo Orozco. I scored this bout 98-92 in favor of Conor Benn. The three judges had this one 99-91 twice, which I could see, and 96-94 once, which is a little bit too close for my liking. But yeah, Conor Benn definitely won this fight. But I gotta admit, this was the toughest fight of Conor Benn's career thus far. Maybe it was the layoff, maybe it was the new weight class, or maybe Orozco is just a very tough Mexican fighter, which he was. He took everything that Conor Benn had, didn't go down, got hurt a few times, but still plugged forward and was trying to go for the victory. Just to break down my scorecard in this fight overall, the first four rounds were just easy to score for Conor Benn. Rounds 1 and 2, Ben was just landing big overhands. He was just the one landing the better shots. He was going forward. Then round number 3, Orozco was wobbled with a big overhand. And then Orozco and Ben were throwing some good shots later in that third round. But then in round number 4, it was somewhat competitive. And that's when Conor Benn started to go on the back foot a bit. He won the round easily, but Orozco was making it more competitive than the other rounds. So after 4 rounds, I had a 40-36 for Ben. And at that fourth round, like I said before, that was the point that Conor Benn started to box a bit, go on the outside, as opposed to the first 3 where he was going forward, because he noticed, or I would assume that he noticed, that Orozco has a very good chin and will take all of Conor Benn's punches. So in that 5th round, I actually gave it to Rodolfo Orozco. He was moving forward, and he was just more active in that round, I would say, than Ben. Then round number 6 came along. I gave that one to Conor Benn. It was a pretty quiet round. Ben, I just thought, had the better work outside, but it was a pretty quiet round. Round number 7, though, I gave to Orozco. Again, it was a very quiet round. But then Conor Benn was getting hit with some good combinations by Orozco on the ropes late in that round. Then at rounds number 8, 9, and 10, Ben was just on the outside, fighting at a slower pace. They were pretty quiet rounds, but Ben was the one just landing the better shots. Or actually, in the 9th round, Ben actually hurt Orozco, but rounds 8 and 10 were pretty similar, where Conor Benn was just landing the better shots, had the better work. But in round 9, Orozco was really hurt. He got wobbled with a very good overhand from Ben. Got knocked. He almost turned his back to Ben. Looked like he was out on his feet almost. And then Ben went in forward, was going for the kill, going for the stoppage, but Orozco was just too tough, too durable for him. And just survived that 9th round. Like I said before, the 10th round, Ben won pretty solidly. So in the end, that equates to a 98-92 scorecard. And yeah, successful comeback victory for Conor Benn. So this goes into question, what is next for him? I got to be honest, I don't really know if he's going to be continuing to fight at 54 or 60. I mean, he was supposed to fight Chris Eubank Jr. in his last fight before he tested positive. And that would have been at 160. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what really goes on in his career moving forward. I think definitely his next few fights are going to be in the United States on these Matchroom cards, DAZN cards in the USA. And I think he'll be featured as the co-main event here, an opener or something like that. I don't necessarily think he'll be headlining cards in the United States. But for his next few fights, I don't really see him facing any top-level British fighters. I think he will probably have his next fight at 54 as well. I know that Conor Benn looked very small in there, but Orozco is a pretty solidly built 154 pounder, a very big 154 pounder, 6'1". I know he started his career out at 108 pounds, but he started his career when he was a teenager, when he was 16 years old. So obviously, when you go from 16 to 24, it's a big difference, and you're still growing at that age. So that's probably why Orozco has had such a big growth over his career. And he's just a solidly built 154 pounder, and Conor Benn is a career 147 pounder, moved up in weight for the first time in this fight. So for Ben, I think he'll probably take on someone ranked within the top 25 top 30 at either 154, maybe a 147-pound fighter moved up in weight, somewhere around that level. Because really for him, after that long inactivity, he's got to step it up, got to get right back where he was before his inactivity. So, yeah, that's what I really think is next for Conor Benn. But as for Rodolfo Orozco, he now drops to 32-4-3. Losing here in a very, very good effort. I thought he performed very well considering he was a huge underdog. I thought he was going to get stopped late in this fight, but he ultimately went the full distance. Props to him. But I definitely think he's going to get more opportunities on these DAZN cards. I think they'll definitely call him up as a B-side because he performed very well, went 10 rounds, and made the fight exciting against a very high-level fighter or a very hyped-up fighter in Conor Benn. So overall, Conor Benn makes a successful comeback after his long inactivity, defeating Rodolfo Orozco by unanimous decision. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.